So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ignore some of the stuff in the background. I am moving some stuff around, cleaning some stuff up that I need to get and or put away. So, yay me. But I'm putting out a couple videos. It's been a little while since I've talked to you guys, so I am sorry. I had to take a little break after making myself feel fantastic after reliving some of the faith manipulation that I went through with ITWORKS Global when I posted before. So, yay. But we are reacting to a video called When Your Spouse Isn't Supportive of Your Business. It's from my lovely upline once again. One of my many uplines. But one of the major uplines that was like pretty much worshipped. Yeah, so we're going to react to this, debunk it, and talk about it. So, disclaimer, none of this is to be used for any bullying or anything like that. This is not like attacking the person in general. It's just attacking the practices of multi-level marketing companies and etc., etc. So, do not go and bully these people just because you know who they are and can see who they are on this video. Please don't do that. I do not promote that, so don't do it, okay? Alright, let's start the video. So, right down here. Deep, right there. Check it out. So, yeah, let's get excited.
A little bit, just so you can kind of get a perspective of where I'm coming from when I say these things. So, when I first heard of the raps, and when I first got started, I was single. I was 19 years old and I had no idea who Taylor even was. And so I was already in the business when I met him, and I wasn't really doing much with the business when I met him. Like, I mean, I had an auto shipment every month and I was using like the greens and the products every month, but that was about it. I wasn't like selling a ton. I was selling here and there when people wanted it. And so when I started, I was single and Taylor wasn't in the picture. So then when I met Taylor, things started changing. I mean, like, he kind of, we'll talk about it and look back, and he says, he was like, what in the world is this girl doing? Like, what the heck are these raps? Like, that's...
So first off, I'm going to let her go on some more, but she sounds really tired, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, unamused, not excited or anything about the business. Like, she just sounds really, she sounds like all the fun has been sucked out of her life. Like, that's what she sounds like. And I don't like that. Like, I mean, I don't enjoy reliving my past with people that was in the same multi-level marketing company with me, but I actually kind of feel bad at the moment for her because she sounds exhausted. Like, very exhausted.
And I was still kind of doing it, and I remember we were dating and I would go to trainings. Like, I went down to a training down in Las Vegas with Stephanie Dunn there, and that's where things started changing for me. So I went to this training and I started working the business more, and that's kind of when I started using Instagram too and doing like an expo and things. And while we were dating, this is so crazy now that I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if it didn't work out? But while we were dating, we weren't even engaged yet. Just kidding, we got engaged 5 days later. We knew it was going to happen. But I signed Taylor up when he was just my boyfriend. I was like, so what's your social security number? And he sent it to me and I signed him up. I just stuck it on my card, and because I knew we would be married and it wouldn't be a big deal. And so I used him, kind of like the Ruby bonus, I used him as one of my distributors to help me get there. But
she just admit, you're not supposed to do that. Oh my word, you're not supposed to sign other people up and then run it on a different card. That's your card. I knew we were gonna get married. Like, it didn't work out. And I actually, so to be completely serious, this actually happens way more than everybody thinks. Like, a lot of women, not just their spouses, but like their boyfriends and significant others, you know, whatever, girlfriends, they will sign up under them and use it as a second back office, which is very sneaky. And you're not supposed to do that. Like, there's a lot of people that have gotten into some severe trouble for doing that, because the person you signed up isn't the one that's like working the business. But she just admitted to doing it. She straight up admitted to doing it. And she also was basically admitting she used him as like, oh my word, I can't. Okay, let's continue.
So he was a distributor on my team, like, before we were even engaged, whether he wanted to or not. But I just worked his...
Whether he wanted to or not. And then she's just right here, she's going to admit that she worked his side of the business. And I know this because I remember it happening back when I was in ITWORKS.
And it's crazy because, like, we got engaged in the end of November, and then January came along. I couldn't afford to go to conference, so I didn't go. This was in 2014. And I still was working my business on Instagram and filling in my steps to success, and I was working really closely with Stephanie Dunn to figure out how I could go diamond for that $10,000 bonus. And
then Joel and Stephanie, I'm going to kind of talk about later on in a different video. But they were her upline. And then it was her, like, we would look up to those two. And on the team that we were on.
Every time I'd sign somebody up, it's funny, I remember calling her, like, what do I do now? Where do I put them? And so she'd, like, walk me through what to do. But, it's funny, I promoted in March of 2014. It's crazy, it's been 2 years. So this next paycheck, I get the very last payment of my $10,000 bonus. But I promoted last year in March, and looking back, I keep finding these posts that pop up saying, like, oh, this was 2 years ago today or whatever. And I would post and ask for advice in group pages for the business all the time, saying, so Taylor is really not supportive. He keeps saying this is not a reliable source of income, that I need to get a real job. I don't know what to do. And so many people, especially like Joel Dunn, just kept telling me, like, just keep going, like, don't give up, just keep going, because in 90 days you're going to be making more than he does. And I kind of was just like, okay, like, I'll keep.
Manipulation right there. The manipulation, because Taylor said, just get a real job, blah, blah, blah. And,
you know, and so I kept going. And especially, I mean, so then March, I promoted to Diamond, and then we got married in May of 2014. And
ads.
I don't share this with very many people, so just somebody needs to hear it though. We got married in May, and I was distracted with my business. I wasn't working hard. I wasn't signing up the amount of people that I normally did, and in May I struggled to maintain my diamond rank, and I almost lost my bonus.
You shouldn't have been working your business 24/7 anyways. You were planning a wedding. You were getting married. You were doing like everyday life adult stuff. Like, why are you guilt tripping yourself and feeling bad for almost losing your rank? I mean, I understand almost losing your rank. Like, I totally get that. And being upset about that. But enjoy your life. The fact that you can't even enjoy the wedding planning, being a newlywed and things like that, because you're afraid that you're going to lose your rank and your bonus and your business and stuff like that. Wow. Like, I mean, I'm pretty good at giving myself a good guilt trip, but this is sad. I mean, this is plain out sad. Like, I truly do feel bad for her in this aspect, because you should not be making yourself feel guilty for enjoying the wedding planning, enjoying being a newlywed and things like that. But the thing is, the money is not guaranteed, which is basically what she was saying. It's not guaranteed. And you have to work. You have to keep messaging people, signing people up, messaging people, signing people up, posting, to bring people in to be able to do this. And how do you wedding plan and enjoy being a newlywed while trying to keep your business going? Or your business, sorry, air quotations. Every time I say business, air quotate for me. Thank you.
So for me to be able to maintain my rank and not lose that $10,000 bonus, I had to put in close to an $800 maintenance order. And
oh, dude, even my ring light fell over and about croaked when she said that. That's messed up. Whoa. $800 maintenance order. Honey, no. And see, so this kind of lines up really with buying your ranks and things like that. Like, that's totally wrong. I believe wholeheartedly that is so wrong. It's not morally right. And I'm not saying that she's immoral or anything like that. But what she did was, and she's not the only one that's done it in ITWORKS or any other multi-level marketing company. You see it a lot with the Monat girls, or Monat, or however, whatever you want to say. I'm never going to say it right. But you see so many companies do this because, one, they can't get people roped in, scammed in, to, allegedly scammed, into, I can't even form it, because I know we were trained to do this, and I know I had plenty of trainings in the several years that I was in with ITWORKS, and even with Beachbody as well, that buying a maintenance order to keep your rank was something that you should do. Obviously, it's not. It's not something that you should do, no. And she openly admits it, and this is a public video. Like, this is a public video on YouTube that was recorded in 2016. 2016, 2 years after it happened. And this is wrong. Like, you're not supposed to do this. I don't care if you are a distributor or if you're a Black Diamond or anything like that. This is wrong, and you do not... $800. Who has $800 laying around, even on a credit card, that they're willing to just throw out there to keep their diamond rank and their bonus, which, who knows if they even saw all of their bonus.
That drained my checking account, and I was supposed to be paying for us to go down to Arizona to go watch some baseball games. And so Taylor was so stressed out at me because I was supposed to pay for it, and then he had to pay for it.
He has every right to be stressed out at you, like, and mad. You promised, and you broke that promise just to keep your rank. That's not cool. That this should have been, like, Red Flag Central 101. No, like, just to keep your rank. You spent the money that you had to go to Arizona to see some baseball games that you were paying for it, and your husband was really looking forward to it and things like that. And I don't like broken promises. I really don't like broken promises, and this is a major broken promise that, honestly, I'm sure she feels guilty about it, but I really hope she feels guilty about it, because that's not cool, and that's not right. Like, that's not... You literally had to risk that money. I just can't. I can't... Sometimes I just get so stunned that I can't articulate anything.
And so what happened was we somehow ended up getting locked out of our checking account, and we couldn't afford to pay for gas to get home. And if it wasn't for his dad being on that trip with us, we would have been stranded. But
they got somehow locked out of their banking account. I'm sure because they saw some kind of scam risk, or like you blow $800 like that, like instantly, certain banks, they flag those kinds of things. Some banks, it's a couple thousand. Some, it's a couple $100. Like, they will shut your account and lock it until they know that it's not a scam risk anymore. And thank God, yeah, that his dad was with them, but still, like, they were still able to go on the trip. Oh my God.
That moment especially, he knew it was because of the business that I had to put it in order to maintain my rank. He was so stressed out with me, and
he wasn't stressed out, he was pissed.
I think that was like our first big fight, if we had a fight. But anyways, he still was just not on board with the business. And you would think, oh, she's a diamond, she's making like a diamond income, plus Taylor was my emerald, so that's another emerald income. But no, he still was not happy with it. But
It's probably because neither one of y'all were actually making that much. I'm just saying.
Never wanted to have that feeling of having to fight because we didn't have enough money. And I never wanted him to be disappointed in me for not working my business hard enough, even though he still wasn't supportive. And so that summer,
Okay. I was trying not to make her stop on an awful face that she was making, but you can hear her getting emotional. Like, you can hear the emotions coming out of her when she's retelling this. And obviously, she's human. She's just not just a hunbot, as we call them. She is human. She has feelings. She has to be able to process her emotions. And with something like this, yeah, that is, it is shitty. It is very shitty. And you shouldn't have to worry about fighting with your significant other over money and things like that. And honestly, from what I know and have seen, like, that is the biggest things that couples fight over is money. And it can really put a strain on somebody's relationship. And I get it. And I totally get it. But honestly, you wouldn't have had to put yourself in this situation if you would have been okay enough to let go of your rank and pay for the trip like you were supposed to, and probably none of the events afterwards would have happened. Allegedly. I mean, I don't know, maybe somebody hacked their bank account. That could have been an issue. But if it wasn't, literally, you had a choice to make. And my thing is, if you didn't make that money back double, it's not worth it.
So hard. I was always posting, always following new people, always on my phone just about. And I mean, ITWORKS was the only thing I was doing.
And the big selling point of a multi-level marketing company and working from home, the big selling point is being able to work from home, to be able to have time freedom. And if you're on the phone all the time, that's not time freedom. It just means you're not in an office and you're sitting on your pajamas on your phone all day.
So, I worked so hard that summer, and honestly, it was so hard, especially being a newlywed couple. He wanted to always go and do these fun things and be newlyweds and have fun together,
and you should have done that. You should have done those things. You should have went to have fun. You guys should have traveled to different places that you could afford to go. Spent the time together that you all deserved. Working almost 24/7, that puts a massive strain on a relationship. Even somebody that works anywhere from 40 to 80 hours a week plus, that puts a massive strain on a relationship. If you don't spend the time together, you're going to be stressed at each other, or, as she said, or basically pissed at each other all the time. And that's not right. That's not right. That's not fair to you or your significant other. It's not fair at all. And that's the biggest thing that stood out to me, because as someone who has been in a relationship for almost a decade now with the same person, time has always been something that we fought over and that we struggled with. And for both of us in different situations with different things going on in our lives with our families and different things like that, it's hard sometimes. It's very hard sometimes to get the time in that you need. So I get that, and I understand that, and I get her husband's side of this, because she should have been more attentive and having more attention on her, but I know she's going to like twist this around here in a little bit. But I'm on the husband's side until she starts twisting, because they deserve to have that time together as newlyweds. They needed to continue to build the foundation of their relationship and to not be stressed over money and just be thinking about the time that they're having together.
To work, and so we had a difficulty there, and that's when we started taking the love language test. So if you've never taken the 5 love languages test, look it up on Google. It helps.
I have actually taken it. I was just rolling my eyes because it's not the miracle fix in a marriage. It may help you to fix some things, but it's not a miracle fix.
So much. Because I found out with that test that Taylor's love language is quality time and physical touch. And so
exactly, that's why he was so stressed at you, as you say, because you were working and doing stuff all the time and not spending any quality time with him. Like, I'm sure, like, if I was in this position, this is how I would feel. I would feel like I got married for nothing, that we were just roommates, not married, and then you're over here on your phone and I'm sitting over here wanting to go out and do things, but you can't go do those things because you will not put your phone down long enough because you're afraid to lose your ranks. I get wanting to stay home, especially build and eventually build a family and be home with that family. This just blows my mind. This would drive me insane. I literally right now can go to work, come home, do stuff at home, get stuff done, and then relax and not have to worry about promoting these crappy products that I can't stand. Which I don't know if she can't stand them, but I couldn't stand them when I was in this company. And promote products that I can't stand, talk to people that I don't even know, that increases my social anxiety by 10 million, and to post these corny pictures of the green and the black and the green, black, and white stuff with ITWORKS, because back then they were all green, black, and white. No matter what you saw, you knew an ITWORKS post because it would be green, black, and white. No matter if there was a product in it or anything like that. That was the color scheme, okay? But back to the point that I was trying to make. He was begging you for time. He didn't need the test, and I didn't need to see his answers to the test to know that he just wanted quality time with you. That's how he feels loved, and he wasn't feeling loved.
I was just sitting on my phone, not giving him the time of day and not giving him that physical touch that he needed. He wasn't feeling loved by me. And so, yeah, Taylor was working then, and he felt like he was the one paying for all the bills, especially because I had to put in an order for ITWORKS and couldn't pay to get us down to Arizona. So, but anyways, taking that, I realized that he needed that quality time. So there had to be a time when he got home from work that I had to put my cell phone down and give him that quality time that he needed. Or I could still bring my phone with me, but we would go play a game or like go play tennis or go on a hike or something, so that he had that, felt that love with the quality time. And then at the same time, he took that test, or I took that test, and he could see that I am somebody that is words of affirmation, and I love when he tells me that I'm doing a good job and that he loves me, or he leaves me those cute little notes, you know? And so that was something that really has benefited our marriage, and especially with figuring out the business, because I was still a workaholic over the summer, and I just knew, I mean, Joel told me, just keep going, because in 90 days, you're going to be making more, and he's not going to care.
To get you to work. And I'm sorry you all saw me take a picture, but I needed to take a picture. That was so that I remember to do something in the video later on. But yeah, Joel was pushing because Joel wanted to benefit from you ranking up as well. Not just to see you succeed, but they wanted to succeed more. Joel and Stephanie, that's all they wanted. And second, I'm going to keep beating the dead body on this. Just spend the time with your husband, and if you need to make extra money, get a job where you are guaranteed to have not only benefits, but you're going to get paid every hour, even if you're in the bathroom. Like, come on now.
So I just kept going, and then in July, Taylor promoted to Diamond, and then in August, I promoted to Double Diamond. So Double Diamond average, I don't know what it is now, but it was 6,000, and then the 511 gauges, yes. So in August I was double, so that's about 6,000 a month, and Diamond's about $2,000 a month, so we were doing good at that point. And he was starting to see the money come in more, and so he was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then we even were going to college, and I had to pay for my tuition out of pocket, and it wasn't a problem. So that was cool. And then by the end of that year, Taylor also promoted to Double Diamond, but he still wasn't completely on board with the business. He never really cared to like do training videos with me, or like go to parties with me, or post on his own, or anything like that. He just wasn't involved, didn't care, but he was like, okay, you're making money, whatever, I don't care if you're doing that. And I think one of the next biggest things, 2 Double Diamond paychecks, and he still didn't care. The next biggest thing that made a difference for us in our relationship was I took him to conference in 2015. We went to Limelight together, and at first he was not super excited to go, but it's like a vacation, so he was like, okay, yeah, like that'll be great. And I will never forget, we were helping our team, because a lot of them.
And here she's getting emotional as well. So I'm hoping this is a good story, not a getting emotional, guilt trip emotional.
Afford the hotel, so we had an air mattress with 2 girls sleeping on the floor, and then another girl sleeping next to me in the king bed, and then Taylor on the other side. And I will never forget that first night. He rolls over and he's like, Jocelyn, I can't sleep. All I want to do is ITWORKS with you. I want to quit my job. I want to quit school. I just want to do this with you. Conference changed everything for Taylor. And ever since then, he has been on board and so supportive. So if you can get your spouse to an ITWORKS event, whether it's an ITWORKS U or...
I kind of get how she got like emotional with this and was like super excited, because she felt like she wasn't being supported and so on and so forth by her spouse and that kind of thing. But as I know from experience, and a lot of you all do as well, conference is really good at making you feel good and making you want to get the stuff done. But it's just a big pump up, and after that pump up wears off, then you're back at square one.
Whether it's green carpet or conference, even a 1-team-1 mission can help. I did take him to one of those, but he didn't really care that much either, and Mark and Pam were at that one too, which is funny. But get him to an ITWORKS event so that he can see a real people making real money, and see that it's not just this stupid little thing that my wife's doing.
It kind of is a stupid little thing that my wife's doing. Like, I'm saying that in my opinion. This isn't my wholehearted opinion. The way they speak at conference, I was never to one in person, but we did see a lot of lives from our uplines to push us as an initiative. And it was a lot of feel good. As I said before, it was a lot of feel good. It was a lot of, you can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. This is how much I'm making. I'm up here at this rank, and so on and so forth. But even if you're up at that rank, sometimes you're not guaranteed the amount that you say you're getting or you're going to get due to what your downline does or how hard your downline works. And I totally understand that part of the business model, but it's a bunch of feel good people telling their stories, twisting their stories in ways to make you feel like, yes, I can do this too. This is me. I can totally relate. I can do this. I can do that. And you can't be a part of the 0.01% of a company when you're all the way at the bottom and they've been there since the beginning, and it's just oversaturation. And oversaturation at this point isn't going to get you into the top 0.01% unless a lot of people leave within the next couple months.
And then another thing that really helped too was getting him to try the products. So get him on the products. Even if he doesn't want to, like, here, you need your vitamins, take these greens or whatever. Just get him on the products, because if he starts seeing results with products or seeing that they work.
So my fiance, he did at the time, back when I started, there is a before and after picture of him using the hair, skin, and nails. He did not like any other product, and he hated the hair, skin, and nails, but he took them. But he said they tasted like horse feed. Like, even just swallowing them, he's like, you just get the taste of horse feed, which is disgusting, first off. But there is a before and after picture swimming around of him back then. And yeah, if I find it, I'll pop it up in the video here somewhere if I can. And then there's a before and after picture of me after using a wrap, and I knew outright that it was just water weight, but I felt so great that, that compliance and ITWORKS was like, hey, it's approved. But I feel like everybody's before and afters get approved. Just saying.
Then,
but my fiance's opinion on the products were, these are trash. These are way too expensive to taste like dirt.
Sorry about your eyelashes. Then that's gonna help too.
Must be a laugh.
What I really want to share now, especially because that he's been supportive and in the business for like almost a year and a half now. But here's the thing that I want for every one of you, but it won't happen unless you don't quit. You have to keep going, and you just have to be patient for your spouse, because everybody's different. But when we were up north doing a training in Salt Lake, the last week of March, we were doing a training, and at one point, I don't even remember what we were talking about in our training, but Taylor was sharing something, and it was the first time I've ever seen him like break down into tears, because he was talking about how proud he was of me for doing this business and never quitting and never giving up. And Taylor doesn't cry, so it was the coolest thing to see him get emotional because he was so proud of me. And that made all of it worth it. That made the fights worth it. That made the struggles worth it. And so if you're struggling right now, or if your spouse is just not on the same page as you with this business, do not quit. Do not give up. Keep pushing and push so hard, because in 90 days, everything is going to be different, and it's going to keep being different. Even if it takes your spouse 2 years before he starts crying and saying how proud he is of you, it's worth it. I promise you. And
I got it. That might not work on everybody's significant other, though. That is not going to work on everybody's significant other. I'm just saying, because no, it's not. It's nope. Sometimes some people, if they're pushed, you push them away and they stay away forever. Like, they get livid.
Your relationship will continue to grow and will continue to be so much greater than you ever would have expected. So I really just wanted to share that with you, and because it's a hard thing. Your spouse is your best friend. They are the one person that you trust and feel confide in the most out of anybody else in the world. And so when you don't have their support at first, it's hard. I know how you feel. So
and also, you may not realize or notice or anything like that, but usually your significant other is looking out for you and looking out for what's best for you. And when they say, hey, don't do this, it's not because they don't believe in you or anything like that. It's because that they are actually caring for you. And I know I should have listened both times that I did, but I didn't. And you see where it got me. Just saying. And I only started 2 years after she did. I got nowhere.
Hopefully this is helpful for you. Everybody's journey is different, but the biggest thing is you cannot quit. Do not quit. Keep going, because you are worth it. And your spouse is going to see that in you, but it takes time. Hopefully this helped you, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, so I'm coming back just to speak a little bit before I get off for this one. So my key points with this, if you've made it to the end and you didn't stop because you got mad, if your spouse is telling you, hey, don't do this, hear them out, because they may be onto something. So with Jocelyn here, she started early on in the company. That's how she was able to really build up. She uses her story as a college student, a newlywed, and blah, 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 to reel people in. And now her story she's using is that she's a mother. She's got kids. She wants to bring in like-minded mamas and things like that. And, yeah, work the angles, I guess, but my key point with that is don't fall for it. The market, it's 2022. The market is oversaturated. It is a scam. It is a pyramid scheme. I'm alleging this, but this is my personal opinion. I feel that they are scams, that they are pyramid schemes. Please, 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 if you don't do it for them, do it for me. Do not, and I repeat, do not join a multi-level marketing company, especially if your significant other has really voiced their opinion saying, hey, I don't think you should do this. This doesn't seem right. There's something wrong here. Don't do it. Listen to them. You are going to cause more fights and more stress within your life, especially since this has to do with money. You're just going to mess your relationship up. I mean, I'm glad her story ended well. They're both like working for the company and blah, blah, blah. But you cannot, to me, in a relationship, you have to listen to the other person. You have to be on the same page. There's a lot of distributors that'll just tell people that they're signing up. Don't listen to your husband. Don't listen to your wife. They don't know the opportunity. They don't know what you can and can't do. They're just not supportive, blah, blah, blah. I've even seen some stories where uplines have told their distributors, their new signups, to get rid of their significant other because they aren't supporting you enough. And their way of supporting you is telling you not to join a multi-level marketing company. Just saying. Anyways, so there's that. I digress. This was a good break from the faith manipulation because I get really heated and angry about that. But I did get a little bit, there's a few times I got a little upset here. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you want me to react to anything else. You can email it to me, or you can DM me on Instagram and send it to me. That would be fantastic. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed and wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whenever you're watching this. Have a wonderful day.